Pro de Deux round 21. Yes, after last week's wild round of Pro de Deux, the highest scoring points round of the season so far. We're straight back into it with some really, really tough games to call. No, none other than this first one. Dax, typically quite good at home. They got a really good result drawing away at Oyonnax last week. They take on the top of the table, high flyers, Grenoble, who hammered Aurillac at home last week. It's all about Sam Davis. Will Grenoble be able to be dominant up front to allow his kicking game to take the advantage over the Dax kicking game at home? I'm going for Dax. I think they've got the big bodies to prevent Grenoble from getting on top, whereas Rich is going for Grenoble. He just thinks they're on such high form at the moment. The second game, Provence versus Soyon-Golem, is another really tough one. Provence are in a great run of form at the moment. 5 wins in 6 games. Epic win away last week at Mont-de-Marsan. Last minute try to snatch victory. Saxby similarly had a pretty close game. They came from behind 21-8 down to win pretty comfortably in the end at home to Colomiers. Saxby is still the joint best away side in the league with Grenoble, but Provence are unbeaten at home. It's a really tough one to call. Rich is going for Provence because of their unbeaten record at home. I am backing our boys Saxby. I think they can do it. Next one, Béziers v Valence Romance. Probably an easier one to call. Béziers were nilled away last week in the highest scoring round of the season. The second highest point scorers in the league, second highest try scorers in the league. Béziers were nilled. Yes, unbelievable. Valence got a brilliant result at home to Biarritz, snatching it in the final minutes. And both of us think Béziers are a very, very strong side. They are one of the best teams in the league. Valence are very far down the bottom, 14th at the moment. Béziers get their Portuguese players back. That's pretty key for them. Samuel Marquez at 9 is still such a key player for them. We are both going for Béziers in that one. Colomiers, they were on top at one point last week away at Saxby. They take on Mont-de-Marsan at home. Mont-de-Marsan, the league's most unpredictable side. They were beaten at home last week by Provence in a last-minute try. It's a tricky one to call. Rich is going for Colomiers. That's a logical thing. They are in a good run of form. They've definitely kind of refound themselves. They do seem to be the kind of 7th or 8th best side in the league, challenging the barrage. Mont-de-Marsan have not got that consistency. I'm going for Mont-de-Marsan. It's all about feels in Mont-de-Marsan, and it's gut instincts, and what are they going to pull out next? I am going for Mont-de-Marsan in that one. Aurillac v Agen, 2 very contrasting results and games last week. Agen 14-0, a gritty one on Friday evening, the late kickoff at home to Béziers, whereas Aurillac, who also scored 14 points, conceded 75 points away at Grenoble. Aurillac, however, will get all of their load of their players back from Rugby Europe Championship, so they've got quite a few Georgians who are key players for them. They've got a few Dutch players as well in there. I think they've shown pretty good bounce back ability. They are pretty strong at home. Agen are very inconsistent, so we are both going for Aurillac in that one. Nice versus Montauban. We're both going for Montauban in this one. They're in 5th. They're in a really good run of form. They hammered Nevers at home last week. Nice lost again last week. I think it's round 12 was their last points of any kind in Pro de Deux. You just don't know where their win is coming from or where they're going to turn things around. Montauban playing some great rugby. We are going for Montauban in that one. Nevers v Oyonnax. So Oyonnax drew at home last week. Pretty poor result, actually, at home to Dax. Nevers got hammered away at Montauban, conceded 60. So 2 pretty poor results last week. Rich is going for Oyonnax. That he thinks they are in a good run of form. He thinks they are starting to show their quality. He thinks they're pretty good generally. Personally, I think jury's still out on their away form anyway, but they also not won a game during an international period when Joe El Abd hasn't been there, the head coach. He'll be away with England this week. I'm going for Nevers, and I think they'll win pretty comfortably, actually, because Oyonnax just don't seem to have it about them during the international periods when they don't have Joe El Abd. And the final game of the round, yes, the Friday 9pm kickoff is 20 home wins from 20, and this is possibly the one of all of them this season that is most likely to be an away win. Brive, I think they're 3rd or 4th now. back to some form. They look like they mean business. Take on Biarritz, who have now lost 6 in a row. They got their first league point since mid-December last week. They've lost their last 2 home games. It doesn't look good for Biarritz, but we are both going for Biarritz in this one. The Friday 9 p.m. kickoff, home factor, just seems to be a thing this season. And before, Brive have kind of flattered to deceive away from home at times this season. Do they mean business really away from home in the same way they do at home? Biarritz also, before this recent run of form, they only lost, those are the only 2 home games they lost. They were unbeaten at the Aguilera before this disastrous run. So we are both going for Biarritz in that one. It seems bizarre, but Pro D2 is truly bizarre this season. Let us know what you think. Get in touch. Drop us a like. Drop us a follow. Drop us a comment to get in touch. Enjoy Pro D2 this week.